I don't know.
And this is why Contra's message was weak. And I'm sorry, I love Contra, and I like that she tries to have a reasonable position. But like, you're already cucked if you want to say that, like, okay, guys, they're doing a genocide. And like, one, no one's giving you any points for that. And two, it's retarded. It's retarded because if you really believe they're doing a genocide, then the only option is annihilation.
And at this point, it's like, it turns into just your own personal, incredibly petty, incredibly self-centered attitude.
Contra drama? Dude, I don't want to. It's so bad. It's so bad. Everyone's already dunking on her and they're all already right. I'm not clued in. She put out this like rambling narcissistic post about how she's anti-genocide in Gaza, but the reason she hasn't talked about it is because it's depressing and glib, and she feels like the left hasn't done anything productive by bringing attention to it, and it's the left's fault and the left's problem, and blah, blah, blah. So many leftists feel betrayed because I haven't made a video on Palestine. Do they actually want a Contrapoints video about Palestine? Will they be happy if I get in the bath and pour milk on a mannequin of Benjamin Netanyahu? No. I have posted about Gaza occasionally and have quietly given money to Palestinian aid orgs. But what I think what leftists really want is for me to join their chorus of anger. They sense some hesitation on my part and are judging me very harshly on my presumed opinions. I'd rather be judged on my actual opinions, so here they are. Is Israel committing genocide in Gaza? Yes. Do I oppose it? Yes. Do I feel angry about it? Yes. I also feel a lot of other things. Chapter 1, Doom. The week after October 7th, it was clear the mood among Israeli leaders and civilians was overwhelmingly kill or be killed, existential panic, and unstoppable lust for revenge. It reminded me of the US after 9/11. There was no reasoning or protesting them out of it. Nor was it politically feasible for the US to withdraw aid to Israel on a time frame that would make a difference. Man, it's been like 2 years now. It would have required replacing most of Congress and overturning decades of bipartisan strategy and diplomacy. Even in the best case scenario, it would have taken years, so there was a sense of futility. But worse, Chapter 2, Misery. Oh, the misery. The leftist pro-Palestine movement quickly decided that their primary goal was not merely opposition to the genocide, but opposition to Zionism in general. That is, opposition to the existence of Israel as a Jewish state. And here they decided to draw the line separating decent people from genocidal fascists, which had the following consequences. It shrunk the coalition. Zionist is a very broad category. Most Jews are Zionists. Anyone who supports a two-state solution is a Zionist. Mabdani. Why wouldn't you visit Israel after becoming mayor of New York City? Oh, I don't have to debunk this, do I? Anyone who watches me understands why this is really bad. What she's saying is like arguing against the Holocaust without arguing against Nazis. Well, it's like arguing against the Holocaust without arguing against Lebensraum, right? The genocide in Gaza is a direct product of Zionism. Zionism is the reason why they were in an open-air concentration camp. It's the reason Hamas exists. It's the reason there are walls with automated turrets that shoot people when they come near. It's the reason why in the West Bank there are roads that only Jews can use. It's Zionism is the reason for all of this. Like, the Holocaust didn't happen because the people in Germany, the Nazis, said, well, we should just do one, right? It was the consequence of an underlying ideology that demanded the eradication of other groups as a way of expressing the supremacy of their own. Do you think supporting a two-state solution is Zionism? There's a difference. So unfortunately, she's providing really bad analysis. The people who I know who have advocated for a two-state solution have done so as a way of addressing the immediate harm of Gaza being essentially like an occupied sub-territory of Israel, not a long-term goal. Because obviously, if you implemented a two-state solution, you would then still have a Jewish ethno-state. Like, that wouldn't change the fact that Israel, say in the West Bank, or however you drew the lines, right? Israel would still be, in law, Jewish supremacist. Like, the term a Jewish state is a dog whistle, right? Like, when white supremacists say they want America to be a white country, America is already plurality white. What they mean by that, obviously, is an ethno-state. Like, duh. If a member of the AfD says they want Germany to remain a German state, like, let's not be stupid, you know what they mean. Even if they don't mean only, like, ethnic...
Just anybody that says ethno-state, or anybody that says, like, Jewish supremacy, because that's not what any of this means. It's this is just analysis done by people who are like very clearly part of the West and have never considered a frame of reference outside of their own. They're incapable of actually understanding anything outside of a very white Western imperialistic, ironically enough, perspective. like you can have ethno-states without thinking that you're like a racially superior people. There are multiple Arab states in the Middle East that like explicitly call out like religion or Arabness in their founding documents, in their constitutions. The idea that like Jews think they're superior and that's why they want an ethno-state is stupid. It's such a baseless, stupid thing to say. It's like it so immediately makes it clear that you have no idea what the you're talking about.
German people would be there. What they're talking about is a legal and social prioritization of those groups. Obviously, this is untenable. I don't think ethno-states should exist at all. But at the very least,
like this comment is so worthless. I don't think ethno-states should exist at all. Like that's a stat. Like it's this is the equivalent of a white person saying, like I think all forms of equity or wealth redistribution are unfair. There should be a flat tax and everybody should keep their own stuff. I think that all forms of unfairness are bad, and so wealthy people shouldn't be taxed more than poor people. Everyone should pay the exact. Like it's just on its face, it's stupid. When you say there should be no ethno-states at all, and then you have a region where every single state is like massively favoring a single ethnicity, and they're de facto ethno-states. And then they're like, oh, yeah, sure, I agree. And let's use this argument to go destroy the one state that we want to like aggressively change the ethnicity of. It's like, okay, well, this is kind of like a stupid point, right? Nobody's threatening the ethnic demographics of any of the surrounding states. It's only one. So when you say, well, ethno-states are bad, but everyone else gets to be a de facto ethno-state, it's like, well, this is stupid.
At least a two-state solution would take the pressure off, right? It would, in the immediate sense, free the Palestinians from being completely subjugated to Israeli power. So if a person believes in a two-state solution as an immediate harm reduction thing, I don't think that's Zionist. If a person believes in a two-state solution as a long-term goal in which Israel remains a Jewish ethno-state, that would be a problem.
Like when people like Vaush, and I don't know if Vaush is just like a huge like Islamic dick suck or whatever, but when you say that like anything that protects the ethnic identity of the Jewish state is bad, what you are saying, they don't want to own this, but what you're saying is that like the ethnic Jewish state should be destroyed and it should become another Arab state. Because if you concede that it shouldn't be there should be no ethnic protections for the makeup of the country, then you're saying that there's an infinite right of return for all of the Palestinians, of which there's an arbitrarily 5, 6, 7 million defined as refugees. Every single one of them gets to go back to Israel proper. All of them get to vote. Jews become a minority there. And then whatever logically follows from that. But it's probably going to be, if not anything else, a mass exodus of the Jewish people there back to Brooklyn, I guess, where they want them all to go. Right. It's stupid.
I think that political dynamic would still produce things like this genocide, because you would still have a highly militarized supremacist Jewish state right next to the new Palestinian state with US weapons, with far-right backing, like you get the point? It was politically infeasible. What is the pathway that takes us from the present situation to the dissolution of Israel as a Jewish state? I mean, withholding support, that would be a good start, I guess. Like maybe it would be more difficult for Israel to remain an ethno-state if they weren't backed by the most powerful country in the world who just agrees with everything they do and supports them.
Probably not that much more difficult.
Actual line in the sand rather than what Biden did, which was multiple red lines that he would lie about, and then when Israel did cross those red lines, nothing would happen. It would be a good start, right? Some kind of meaningful political opposition. I don't see how this could happen without either a total internal collapse of Israeli society or else, nuclear war. I wouldn't mind a total internal collapse of Israeli society. They're currently doing a genocide. I don't know.
Like this is why also, and this is why Contra's message was weak and pussy. I'm sorry. I love Contra, and I like that she tries to have a reasonable position. But like, you're already cucked if you want to say that like, okay, guys, they're doing a genocide. And like, one, no one's giving you any points for that. And two, it's retarded. It's retarded because if you really believe they're doing a genocide, then the only option is annihilation. It can't, like, how are you going to negotiate with a whole country that's decided to genocide somebody? There's no negotiations to be had. These guys are doing genocide and apartheid and ethnic cleansing. Like, why would you ever negotiate with a state like that? The only option is annihilation. And Vaush says it very clearly here, which is nice that he's honest about it, right? Oh, I wouldn't mind a total and utter collapse of Jewish society. But when Syria is collapsing, it's really bad. When Yemen is collapsing, it's really bad. When any of like the surrounding Arab states are collapsing, it's really bad. But for Zionism, that's the one that absolutely needs to fucking collapse. That's where we need the regime change. It's like, really?
Let's see how this could happen without either a total internal collapse of Israeli society or else, nuclear war. I wouldn't mind a total internal collapse of Israeli society. They're currently doing a genocide.
Also, this is why Israelis listen to leftists and they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we do support Trump. Why the fuck would we ever? Or if you're even like Jews in New York looking at Mamdani, when people like this are speaking for the left, it's like, oh, okay, so you are basically like a Nazi when it comes to Jews, I guess, which is just a Nazi. So yeah, we have no desire to work with or listen to you or do anything with you because you are literally advocating for the complete and utter destruction of our society. So it's,
I don't know. Feel like there are worse things. Like if a country's doing it, like listen, okay, I supported the UN intervention into Serbia, the bombing that we did of Serbia, and what Serbia was doing to the Albanians was nothing even remotely close to what Israel's doing to the Palestinians. So my line for when should UN warplanes drop, or NATO, sorry, not UN, NATO, when should NATO warplanes drop bombs to pacify the aggressors is clearly way the lower than what Israel's doing right now. I don't know how the you can support NATO intervention in Serbia but not support intervention into Israel. I think the UN should occupy Israel. Get some blue helmets down there for 100 years for all I care. Jesus. And stop giving them weapons. Stop giving Israel more weapons. Jesus. And then there's this wonderful line. As usual, leftists have championed a doomed cause. That's really cool. Don't support desegregation because it's not immediately feasible. Don't support an end to the Vietnam War because it's not immediately feasible. Don't support an end to the Iraq War because it's not immediately feasible. This is just you territory. This is like unsalvageable. It always, at the end of the day, people, weaker people than me, I should say, always circle back around to directing their hate and orienting their politics around aggression towards people that they dislike. And the group of people that are giving Contra the most shit for previous livery have been leftists. So it comes back around to that. Anyway, yeah, this logically doesn't work. Like, armchair psychoanalysis aside, this just logically doesn't work. Basically, every progressive cause starts out as or more doomed than opposition to Israel today. Everything from gay marriage to Contra support for trans people. Like, right now, trans rights are looking pretty bleak in the West. Do I waver? No. I think we should put our foot down and hold firm on all of it, including, you know, participation in sports. I'm consistent. If every progressive acted the way you're recommending leftists act with Palestine, consistently on every issue, nothing would ever get done. Also, right now, American support for Israel is lower than America's opposition to MLK. Or I guess what I should say is opposition to Israel is a more popular position than support for MLK during much of the civil rights movement. It introduced dangerous ambiguities. The vagueness of Zionism as a political Satan enables all kinds of rhetorical abuses. On one hand, right-wing Israelis hold up all anti-Zionist protests as existentially threatening and inherently anti-Semitic. On the other hand, there's a long history of anti-Semites using the term Zionist in deliberately equivocal ways. Yeah, sure, I don't really know what that has to do with the genocide, though. Like, there are some people who do that, and it's bad, and they should be called out. I don't really... Like, people will dog whistle to take an existing cause and manipulate it to serve their bigotry. Yeah, sure, I don't really see what that has to do with the underlying point. Anti-Semites are happy for the opportunity to misappropriate the now popular anti-Zionist label to legitimize their agenda, and many people are not informed enough about anti-Semitism to recognize when this is actually happening. These problems are mutually reinforcing. But there's a difference. See, it is the Zionists themselves who disingenuously conflate Zionism and Semitism, whereas it's the opportunist Nazis who jump on the back of anti-Zionist protests to take advantage of the rhetorical ambiguity that is being created by the Zionists, by the way, and weaponize it in the service of their own ends. Or in other words, the Zionists are doing the bad thing. Whereas with regard to anti-Zionism, it's another group that's trying to co-opt the language. What exactly are we meant to do about that? Or to put it another way, how could you ever criticize Israel without anti-Semites trying to take advantage of it? I mean...
Well, one thing is you could start by saying, I wouldn't mind the complete and utter collapse of the entire society. I mean, that could be like a start, you know?
I think that you should do everything you can to excise them from your movement, to make it clear what you mean, to be precise in your definitions. But how on earth could you do that? Zionists put so much effort into conflating Judaism and Israel. Like, it's like their main thing. They shield themselves with it. So as a consequence, they make it very easy for Nazis and anti-Semites to, to take advantage of the rhetorical ambiguity. But what is the left meant to do about that, apart from being responsible when possible? It is, after all, like often young progressive Jewish people who are at the forefront of these anti-Zionist marches, like Jewish Voice for Peace, advocates against this old colonial ethno-state project. Chapter 3, Dread. The online left has spent the last 20 months distributing hundreds of photos and videos of dead Palestinian children. The main effect of this has been to create a population of people in a constant state of blood-boiling rage with no consequential political outlet. Palestinians share photos and videos. The Western left isn't in Gaza. The Palestinians take those videos and share them online because they don't want their suffering to be invisible. It's not really the left that's creating that media. It's Israel's creating, I suppose.
The media is created for you, though, right?
The subject of the media, but Palestinians are the ones documenting it. I don't understand this point. I fear this may be worse than useless. Anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism are conceptually not the same, and conflating them is dangerous. But in practice, the way Israel is perceived does seep out into attitudes about Jews in general. I don't think Jews who feel isolated and wary in the current atmosphere are simply hysterical or hallucinating. Kind of a non-statement. As previously mentioned, there are anti-Semites who opportunistically take advantage of the anti-Israel, anti-Zionist protests, but what does that mean? Like, the conflation of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism is the policy of Zionists. Like, their goal is to do that. How do you turn this into an anti-left argument? Like, if you're so concerned about the conflation of these two ideas, why is every Zionist constantly screaming it from the rooftops? I would love it if they would stop. I don't think Zionism, to be honest with you, I don't think Zionism...
Like, and I know we don't care about the news anymore or anything that happens, but like, keep in mind that 2 Jewish people were murdered in, was it in D.C.? By a guy, you know, who was saying, like, for Palestine. He just fucking murdered... yeah, but you know, whatever it is, what it is.
Current form has much to do with Judaism at all. The underlying project is, of course, based in the, you know, Jewish homeland, Middle East, so on and so forth. But as a political project, the way it manifests, it seems to be largely like a corporate and American Christian.
I don't know why you're donating for. I know we'll never get it, and the bridge has been burned for years. But an IP debate between you and Vaush would feed family. He will never debate me on this. These people do not debate these topics. Israel Palestine is, it's like a holy text to them. They're not going to debate it. They're not going to do apologetics for it. They just repeat the propaganda verbatim because they have no understanding of any of this issue. These are all slogans and talking points. You're listening to somebody Markov chaining together different phrases that he's heard about the region. He doesn't know fuck all about anything having to do here. But nobody that talks about this, so who the fuck cares?
Evangelical effort, where Jews are weaponized to further, or the identity of Jewish people and their needs or perceived needs are weaponized by oftentimes anti-Semitic right-wingers in an effort to promote certain cultural or economic causes, you know? Like, it's not exactly a secret that AIPAC and the ADL and other groups aligned with Zionism are usually used as bludgeons against the left. Right? Yes, there's communal trauma and hypervigilance. Yes, there's disingenuous right-wing ghouls dismissing and censoring all criticism of Israel on the pretext of fighting anti-Semitism. Wait, that's not disingenuous right-wing ghouls. That's the entire Zionist establishment. Literally, like, that is the playbook. It's not just the disingenuous right-wing ghouls. That's the entire, from Democrats, Republicans, that's the main strategy. Look at what they did to Mamdani. That's in no way like a niche strategy. There's also a valid fear of historical anti-Semitic patterns recurring, and that fear gives power to the right-wing Zionist claim that only Israel can keep Jews safe. Yeah, that's why Israel does this. Israel makes itself hateable on an international and local stage and conflates Judaism and Zionism and then does horrible things in the name of Judaism, allegedly in the name of Judaism. They do it for Zionism. And that does attract international condemnation, which they then use to fearmonger to further legitimize their project. But all of this is the strategy of the right. Why are we pretending that the left is doing this? Like, this entire essay post is pointing out things Zionists do, but then she turns around and says, oh my God, it's like the FD signifier video. I'm getting flashbacks. They don't want solutions. They don't want to stop the genocide. They just want to endlessly critique the genocide. Oh God, I'm being sent back. Does this mean Israel should not be criticized and sanctioned? Absolutely not, but it's something I don't want to risk contributing to if not outweighed by tangible benefits, so I approach the issue cautiously. But there have been benefits to the widespread left condemnation of Israel.
Yeah, what's that? Republicans getting elected? Donald Trump being the president now?
Democrats have been polarized against it very effectively, which is important. Like, if you, like, keep in mind, man, the Vietnam War went on for, like, what, 7 years? Lyndon B. Johnson lost for re-election because people criticized his handling, and then the war went on for, like, another 4 years or something. Like,
I think Vietnam was longer than that for us, wasn't it? Vietnam, U.S. involvement, Wikipedia. We were there for a long fucking time. That was wild. The overall war was about 20 years. I don't remember when the U.S. was, or how long the U.S. was involved.
Nothing good happens immediately, and sometimes it doesn't happen at all, but you always have to try. There were probably so many people back in the 1960s who thought the civil rights movement was a waste of time. MLK, you're only polarizing people against you, the white moderates.
I love how every single thing can be justified with this line of logic. Like, yes, dogs should be able to be married to humans. If humans and dogs want to marry, that's fine. I know you're saying it's worthless now, but people said the same thing about MLK. I know you're saying that we have no chance of succeeding, but people said the same thing about civil rights. I know you're saying that it hasn't been like this for however many years, so it'll never happen. People said the same thing about women's suffrage, right? Like, it's such a stupid argument.
Feasible. What is the pathway that takes us from a present situation to the dissolution of Israel as a Jewish state? I don't see how this could happen without either a total internal collapse of Israeli society or else, nuclear war. As usual, leftists have championed a doomed cause. And at this point, it's like, it turns into just your own personal, incredibly petty, incredibly self-centered attitude about what you think the online left is doing. It turns into just like looking at an issue that is black and white and saying, well, it's the worst crime that you can ever do, genocide, but the leftists are just like being crazy about it. Like, this is just your...
Destiny, do you have any response to Vaush's last point there? A collapsing approval for Israel among the Dem base seems like a decent starting point for an argument that Dem leaders should start shifting their messaging, not to the insane progressive free Palestine, but at least opening up the conversation to being more critical of Israel. Sure, if you want to be, that's fine. It's just, this is retarded. It's not fun to even think about, like, changing messaging to a bunch of fucking retards that literally couldn't find either of these countries on a fucking map. Like, it is the most retarded issue to virtue signal on ever. And what the people, like the progressives and everything, are basically advocating for are a second Holocaust. Whether they realize it or not, and that's the most easily defensible point in the world. They don't know the history of the region. They don't know what they're even asking for. They don't know what the outcome of what they're asking for would be. The unhinged, like, collapsing of every single social and geopolitical issue into just Gaza is fucking retarded. It is the most virtue signaled, like, white privileged, wealthy, cucked position in the fucking world to have. So, like, should Demons change their messaging on it? Yeah, I guess probably, if it becomes like a thing that you have to politically message on. But like I'm not gonna sit here and engage with the hypothetical of, like, what do a bunch of retarded white wealthy kids who've never seen a person like this entire life, who have the most strong positions on a thing that are so fucking retarded. I don't care. Like, if he wants to argue about it, I'll gladly argue about it, but they won't. These people will always avoid challenging conversation on this because they know fuck all, literally nothing about anything going on, right? Even what he said before about how even what he said before was a reversal. I bet you go through his own fucking retarded clips on this. He's like, this genocide was way worse than what was going on with the Bosnian stuff. Why is he saying that? Probably, or the Serbian stuff. Why was he saying that? Because of the numbers? Like, now the numbers matter, but before, when you would point out, how many people died in the Syrian civil war? What, like 500,000? How many people died in Yemen? Hundreds and hundreds of thousands? Like, but that, well, no, it's not about the numbers, it's about the genocide. But now that the numbers for the genocide are higher, well, now we go back to the numbers? It's bullshit. All these arguments are bullshit. It's like retard after retard after retard for all of this. Why do you keep saying white, though? Nearly every Muslim in existence also agrees with Vaush 10 times harder. Because the Muslims that agree, if you go and talk to real Muslims, not 19-year-old kids on college campus, like 5th generation, I'm a cultural Muslims that are fucking retarded and they know how to pronounce like 2 things in whatever their parents' mother's tongue is, right? Actual Muslims will be honest with you and they'll tell you what their goals are. They'll tell you what their desires are. No, if you go to the Middle East and you ask anybody who has strong feelings about this, they're not going to give you these cucked like, oh, we believe in a 2-state solution where everybody has equal, one-state solution. They're going to say, get these fucking Jews the fuck out of here. Get them the goddamn fuck out of this place. We want them the fuck out. They're not going to give you these weird, half-measured, cucked opinions that these fucking 75 IQ knuckle-dragging retards, okay, like Vaush are going to give you. Though they're more realistic and honest about what they actually believe. Even if you poll 2-state in Israel, Palestine before October 7th, nobody wants a 2-state solution. Nobody there even wants it, okay? Nobody wants it, right? It's the difference between talking to fake Muslims or white people, depending on what he wants to be at the time. Hasan, who's like, oh no, they don't use human shields. It's actually Israel that uses human shields. They would never do that. And then you go there and you talk to the actual people in Gaza or Hamas and they're like, human shields? No, we're not human shields. We're by default, all of us are fighters and warriors for Islam. We can't even be human shields because every single civilian is committed to the global jihad that we're constantly calling for the cause of defending Palestine and all of Islam against the Jewish invaders. So if you want to call them human shields, that's fine, but every single one of us is dedicated. Like they're making excuses that they don't even make for themselves. It's fucking stupid. And I don't care. I don't care about it. When you said that a Muslim in the Middle East would say what they really feel, when you look at people like Hasan or literally every Muslim that voted in the USA, didn't they literally vote third party because of God? These are American people that have been insanely Americanized. Hasan has absolutely zero connection to any fucking Muslim or Islamic culture or fucking anything whatsoever in any way, size, shape, or form. Hasan is a frat boy, white American dude who... That's it. Like, that's Hasan's entire identity. Just look at the way that he lives his life. He's the most, like, hyper-consumerized, Americanized. He's, like, the pinnacle. He represents, like, the best and worst of American integration of other people into a society. He's basically Donald Trump, like, of all the gaudy... Where is the, you know what? Where was it? I saw a clip earlier. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, how are you, man? Good to see you. And at the phase party, they...
Oh, my God, bro. Shane, not one watch... but 2 watches, $600 t-shirt with a gold wristband and whatever the fuck this green piece of shit thing. I got no idea what the fuck that is. How many accessories do you have? Hasan, do you know why you need to watch all that shit? Do you know why you gotta change your accessories every day? Because there is nothing of substance beneath the surface. I have one accessory and I wear it every day. It is this gold chain. I have worn this every day for, I believe, 2.5 years, because something happened 2.5 years. It was one of the greatest days of my life. So I got this to celebrate. It is $6,000. I wear it every single fucking day. However, you, Hasan, have to buy hundreds of thousands of different outfits and clothes and accessories and surgeries and transplants and chemicals you're all injecting into your body just so nobody understands how little beneath the surface there actually is. It truly is a shame. Guys, we're a hater right now, man. We really are. We are a grade A hater right now.
Like, like there was a guy that was even older than me.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was like, I think he was like a magician or something.
Awesome.
And he had like crazy.
Oh my God! And 2 golden rings. There's more. Every time he moves, he spawns like 8 other pieces of gold. What the fuck? How much do you need to hide your insecurities? Holy! Don't tell me there's more on his other hand.
Or he was a more on.
Oh my! There's more on the other hand. No, guys. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 rings on right now. He has 4. So a chain, 4 rings, sunglasses, indoors. These are not glasses, they're tinted. Okay? As well as he's wearing 2 watches at the same time with a golden ring around his wrist and another green strap. Holy fuck. Like, bro is a walking jewelry store. How the fuck did none of these terrorists that he's like supports rob him when they see him? How are they not doing that?
A more honorable content creator.
It's fucking cringe. We saw that already.
Dude, you're washed, bitch.
Oh, true.
You're fucking.
You're the same age as me.
Yeah,
You're
but
older than me.
But I accept it. You're trying to be young. I see your big ass pants.
But look at my fucking beard. I have white
dude.
beard hair.
No, what about this fucking chain link bullshit?
What do
dude?
you mean?
You know
that's
what you're
hot.
doing. You
I-
know
I
what you're
can
fucking
be-
doing. I accept who I am. You're gonna pretend to be young so long. It's gonna be so fucking.
But
pathetic.
I just like I can't.
when you're 40,
Dude,
dressing when
I-
it comes back around, you're wearing leggings.
I went to a phase party, which is already.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
exactly.
I rest my case, folks.
Exactly. Good. I went to a phase party.
Good to see you.
And at the phase party, they like there was a guy that was even older than me.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was like, I think he was like a magician or something.
Awesome.
And he had like crazy.
So
hair.
he was a more honorable content creator than you.
Yeah, for sure.
He provided more to
chair.
the.
I'm sorry, there's no other.
No, it's
I can
fine.
call him up and send another chair
No,
up
it's
here.
good.
But,
I'm practicing being like.
Why is this wearing so many jerseys recently? I don't know. Is this like a thing now? Are young people wearing soccer jerseys?
Stuff.
It's a nice.
Okay.
It's
I'm
a.
hiding.
It is a nice frame, you know.
Yeah.
Cinematography wise, we have a little empty space
well,
up here.
I'm really small.
Yeah,
And you guys are really big.
Mexico beat America.
You guys are like my big brother.
Speed
we
worse
are
them.
huge, dude.
But
Cute.
We're fucking jacked.
But I saw this guy and he's like definitely in his like 40s, maybe late 40s, and he's like surrounded by these like 20-year-olds, and I was like, if I'm ever that, I need to kill myself.
When you are that.
No, I will never be that.
When
I will
you are
never,
that.
Like I don't like hide my age or anything. I always say I'm old, and also I have too many injuries to
Right,
fucking even
right,
hide
right.
that I'm like youthful in any capacity.
Sure.
Take
you
a
also.
compliment, man.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
That's awful.
Anyway, Hasan's washed. He's pretending
Yeah.
he isn't.
Yeah.
You're an old bitch, but you're having
I'm
trouble
old.
with it.
I'm old. I'm washed. I'm gracefully aging.
No, you're not.
I'm gracefully aging.
No,
Jesus.
dude.
That's what I'm doing.
So
I can't
brutal.
wait to see you fucking pathetically try and keep up with trends your whole fucking life.
Oh my
It's gonna be
God.
awesome. You're doing fit pics
I'm
at
gonna be
42.
dressed like Brett
fucking
Gelman.
mirror selfies.
Yeah, dude, that-
yeah, you're
that's-
literally
yeah,
you're
you're
cruising for a Gelman
Oh my
existence,
God.
dude.
It's like full circle because you used to dress really awesome, and then in the future you will also dress really awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the Brett Gelman.
You will be.
I'm gonna be the reverse Gelman, anti-Israel.
Or like I don't know. I could also see you going like the Depp route, like wearing like a lot of drapey stuff and like rings, like not quite Rick Owens, but like you know,
Yeah.
No.
like
No, we're not. We can't conceive of what the equivalent to that in 10 years. He will be doing it.
Oh my
he
God,
He
you're
thinks
so-
he'll be like, oh no, I'm not doing rings or whatever. But he's gonna do whatever that thing is, and he's gonna think it's new. Those guys don't think they're lame. He's not gonna think he's lame, but he's gonna be such a fucking loser.
I have too many people in here that would rip my asshole apart if I were to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
you would think they were flirting with you. You would be old and be like,
Yeah.
haha, just young chatters. we're all on the same page.
Look,
Everyone who grows up has families. Dude, even Austin has like an adopted Korean son with his husband, and you're fucking still hanging on to your youth, dude.
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. I
I
promise
know.
you.
I no.
Chat,
doubt.
put a pin in it. 10 years from now, let's see what Hasan's doing. It's
Look,
gonna be pathetic.
well,
God damn. There's no reason for that. Jesus.